writer and activist Emma Dalmayne has been released today, aimed at helping parents and professionals better understand children with autism. Emma herself has autism, as do her children, and she joins us this morning. Thank you very much for coming in.
Hello.
This book very much written from a mother's perspective, your experiences of what it's like personally with autism, but also having children with autism too.
Yeah.
Just talk us through why you felt you wanted to write it.
I campaign against autistic mistreatments. There's a lot of so-called cures on the internet that are being touted at vulnerable parents, and special needs children are being abused with them. I feel that if there's a book like mine out there, that hopefully parents will learn coping skills and a bit of get educated, and a bit of enlightenment might help. Maybe they won't feel the need to rush out and try these things, because there's so much ignorance and fear about autism. You see stereotypical child screaming on the floor in the supermarket and you think, I've got to fix this, but you haven't got to fix it, you've got to help them cope with it. It's not fixable. So
yeah, what are some of the tips and the messages that you're trying to get across in the book? Different
coping strategies, enabling your child and you to cope with sensory onslaught. Use ear defenders, use tinted glasses if the lights are too bright. The lights are really bright in here, so I'm looking straight at you. But for a child who's more sensitive than me, or an adult that's more sensitive than me, they might find that hard. So I'd say use tinted glasses, for sounds, ear defenders. To just put tools in place to help your child cope. It's not something you can get rid of.
Do you feel in London perhaps some authorities, some agencies aren't fully equipped to deal with children who have autism, perhaps in schools?
There's a lot of schools that are having problems. To be honest, mainstream schools are forced to cope with children that they can't cope with. They're told that they have to be inclusive. I've heard this from teachers myself. They have to be inclusive, and children are put in situations in big classrooms of 30 kids where it's just too much. So implement sensory breaks where your child can leave, go out for 10 minutes, bounce on a trampoline, things like that for a sensory input to calm them and regulate them so that they're ready to go back into the classroom.
And is it frustrating at this stage of where we are and the understanding we have now of autism, that some people still get confused by what it is and see this is...
It's seen as an epidemic or a disease. I've heard all of that. And with the campaigning that I do and my colleague Fiona O'Leary does as well in Ireland, we've been told we're everything you can think of, trying to stop people from curing their children when there's no cure for this.
Do you think things have improved perhaps since you were a child at school to perhaps how your children go through school?
Well, my children aren't in school. I home educate my children because of bad experiences that my son had in school. He was very badly bullied and he just couldn't cope. It was just too big, too loud. And some schools are great, they've put a lot in place, but sometimes it's never going to be enough, because it's just too big and too loud and too crowded. So,
what's the one thing that you hope this book might change or might do?
I'm hoping it gets to a few parents who are thinking, I don't know how to cope, what am I meant to do, and then looking online. So the worst thing you can do is look online, because people, they straight away go for autistic treatment, not autistic therapy. They went for therapies like speech and language therapy and music therapy, play therapy. Things to cope, not to fix. It's not fixable. Can't make that clear enough. It's not a fixable thing. It's something that you have to help with.
Emma, thank you very much for your thoughts this morning.
My book's called It's an Autism Thing. I'll help you understand it.
Fantastic. And it's out now?
It came out at midnight. So it's got loads of coping strategies for different autistic behaviours in it.
Congratulations. Thank you very much for joining us this
morning.
Thank you. Emma Dalmayne.